How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of AngelsBobs Plus here in Factorio, episode 82. Hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far. If you guys have, make sure you guys smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos. Leave a comment down below. On that, let's get right into today's episode. So in the last episode, we went ahead and we covered, well, we didn't really cover anything. We just kind of attempted to begin the long, tedious process of emptying out all our warehouses up here in our ore refining area of all the crushed stone and slag that have been building up since the start of the series. Or at the very least, since we've started this level of processing. So, in the last episode, we kind of finished talking about how we need warehouses. So that's kind of what we did, is we came up here to go ahead and get ourselves some warehouses. Let's see, let's go ahead and grab something like that. 12 will be fine for now. And as we do it, copper should increase inadvertently, because, for instance, over here in the Javolite, well, not all the copper is able to enter because the crushed stone and the slag have filled the belt. So we're going to go ahead and, if you remember correctly, we stopped here on the belt, but we're going to pull it down and all the way, and we're actually just going to build a storage area for it here. Eventually we'll begin the full processing of it. So some of that processing is what that's going to look like is, if I can find it, it's in one of these. I think it's here. Yeah. So for instance, what we can go ahead and do is we can actually take some sulfuric acid, combine it with slag, sulfuric acid, and combine it with the crushed stone, and that of course is going to give us slag slurry. And then from there we can take the slag slurry, run it through a filter along with some purified water, and that's going to give us mineral sludge, sulfuric wastewater, which we can of course turn back into sulfuric acid for kind of a loop, if you will. And then that will allow us to make these catalysts. It will also allow us to, if we wanted to, do kind of direct ore sorting. Not quite, but kind of. We could, of course, crystallize it directly, and that would give us some ore. However, notice it still gives us a little bit of a byproduct. And that's because, for instance, well, if we want a bunch more iron or a bunch more copper, well, we can't get one or the other without getting the other for this. Right? But if we turn it into a catalyst and then sort it with crushed sapphire and javolite, we can get iron directly. Or if we combine it with stereotype and crotinium, we can get copper directly. We can also get, of course, all the other ores, which makes it really nice when you're trying to get like thorium or uranium, for instance. It's just, it aids us. And notice somehow javolite got in here. So now let's go ahead. Do I have? Yes. Well, that's not how I wanted that to go. Eventually we'll upgrade these to red belt. For now we don't have one, but eventually we'll have one. And by that I mean upgrade all these to red. So let's go ahead and go like so. Alright, so now let's go ahead and cross over here. Well, maybe if I rotated these properly. There we go. Cool. So now we should just be able to bring it down here, yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably put it there. Alright, so let's go ahead and take our belt. Then let's maintain our spacing of 2, just in case we need to ever route anything. In case anybody's wondering why I route some of these belts the way I do, and with the spacing, it's just so that if I ever need to run something horizontally or vertically, and I didn't plan for it properly, well then I have space to work with. So it's just kind of, it's not really safeguarding or future-proofing directly, but it allows me options should I need them. But obviously, infinite world, infinite, you know, all that stuff, but you do kind of have a limitation on the whole infinite in any game. You're limited by the resources of a computer, and to a lesser extent, the pure limitations of what any one, I don't want to say commercial grade computer, but definitely a what most people are going to be running, right? So it's you're definitely limited, right? So you can't have infinite world, although I would like to have a truly infinite world. The factory would be massive. An infinite factory. I have seen self-replicating factories in Factorio. They are quite complex and they use some scripts, but oof. They are definitely nice. They make all sorts of designs that just, oh. Because they use things called constant combinators, which are in the game, in vanilla, that basically allow you to program in really insane ways. Now, I, myself, don't really use them. Mainly because I already do enough programming as it is, and I'd prefer not to do it in this as well. But also, it's... I don't know, it's one of those, it's a quite complex thing, and if you can get it to work for you, it becomes so amazing. But, at least in our case, I don't need it, so well, rather, I've never found a need for it, right? So I've never sought to use it, although some people have. Alright, so for our case, I'm going to just go ahead and set these up side by side. You can set them up however you want. If you find that you want more space for one over the other, or if there's a particular layout that you have, definitely go with it. If you want, you can go ahead and share the blueprint of anything down in the comments, and then I'll take a look at them. And if it looks good enough, then we'll talk about it in an episode. Alright, so we can just do something like this. And awesome. And this just speed up this process. We'll use our bots. And we'll go like this, and this will pretty much fill up as we need them to. Oh, we can still do 2 more. Like that. Okay. Cool. So basically, what's going to happen now is we have a lot of storage for these things. Temporarily, I'm not going to do anything with it. Mainly because I'm going to focus on trying to get us more copper and just efficient while making it more efficient. But for now, that's where the stone and then the slag will live. Now, eventually we won't be getting any slag because of how we'll be doing sorting. So, for instance, the only reason we're getting slag now is because you can think of it like this. We're getting imperfect sorting. So if we were to start sorting purified sapphirite, or real purified any of the ore actually, we would no longer get slag. So slag is actually a byproduct that will eventually fade out. So yeah, the crushed stone will always be there because we get that from the ore crushing. That's going to happen regardless. We're always going to do that. So we just have to manage it as best we can, per se. So, I mean, we can go ahead and look at... I suppose we could do direct ore sorting for more copper. That is an option. That very well actually could be... Are we getting tin from anywhere else? We are. We're getting tin from over there. What is the stereotype? Gives us silver. Are we getting silver from anything else? Yes, we are getting it from Bob's. We're getting it from Bobby Bob. Well, if we're getting it from the Bombonium, then I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what? We can do direct ore sorting for copper. So we need mineral catalyst. So in order to get mineral catalyst... Also, side note, while I'm, again, squirrel brain in Factorio. So, where is it? A thing for a thing. Yeah, so this contraption we're doing right here to get the fish water, it's woefully inadequate. I was playing around with some of the ratios in between episodes, doing some research. I found that we are going to pretty much need about 10 times of what we have right now. So that will be something that I look at planning out more so once we kind of get back to needing it, because we kind of just were like, okay, we're gonna do the other science while we wait. So okay, so I think for right now, let's go ahead and so no sludge requires some care. Okay. We need more copper. And we already have the stereotype and the crotinium and all that fun stuff. We still need to figure out an area for where we're going to do the direct ore sorting. I'm thinking here in this big open area where ore process, and then just kind of stack them, or even over here is fine. Actually, yeah, I think that's what I'll do, is set it the direct ore sorting over here, and then I can have the pure 12 belts, and then yeah, we'll do that. Alright, so we need to get these mineral catalysts. Well, to get them, as I previously stated, we need mineral sludge, which we get through I don't want to say purifying it, but filtering it, and that's just by melting this down. So I suppose, okay, so we're gonna need some storage. I need more brick. Let's go find where the brick is. We are going to need more. So let's go. Okay, well, without running into any power poles. Okay, without running into any more power poles. Let's go ahead and grab some stone, and then let's go ahead. Go like that. Awesome. So that will pretty much go for a while. Cool. Well, that's going. Okay. Well, at least I had the repair bots out, so That's good. So let's go grab some steel. Make some more pressure tanks. These tanks are pretty massive, which we're gonna place a bunch of these components, aren't we? Cool. Alright. Alright. So now that we have a bunch of this, well, almost all of it. So the next question is, where is... Do we have any sulfuric... Okay, let's find where sulfuric acid is. And are we pumping it down anywhere? We are. Okay, oh, perfect. It actually Awesome. Perfect. So let's head back south. So the slag will eventually disappear, so we're going to base most of the thing we do off of the stone. Now, luckily, the liquid product we're going to be getting is going to be similar to what the... pretty much what the end result's going to be, right? Because if the slag disappears, eventually these warehouses will disappear, and then we'll transition everything to pure stone to mineral sludge. But for now, we'll deal with the stuff. Luckily, the output we get, the mineral sludge, there's only one type. There's no like stone mineral sludge and slag mineral sludge. It's just mineral sludge, which is good. So because it's falling down, or flow of control, we're going to pull from these bottom warehouses. It's fine. Okay, so we'll do something like that. Cool, so in order to melt our stuff in the sulfuric acid, we need, where is it? Here, we need liquefier or chemical plant. From what I found, chemical plants are nicer. Alright, well, we can actually compare right here. Crafting speed of 1.5 versus 1.75. Pollution's the same. Power consumption is a little bit more. So take note that if you're really wanting to squeeze power per craft out, I'd pretty much recommend going with the liquefiers, because it's about half, right? And so for 2 liquefiers, so you can think about it like a crafting speed of 3, along with only power consumption of 2.6 versus 2.58, right? So for 0.02 kilowatts, effectively under max consumption, you're looking at basically the same power consumption for 0.25 more crafting speed. So you can use the liquefiers or the chem plants. I personally like chem plants more, but if you're really wanting to squeeze power per craft out, probably use the liquefiers. So for our purpose, I'm going to just do 5 of each. For no there's no specific reason as to why that's the ratio I'm using. Let's actually go ahead and grab ourselves some sulfuric acid. And then we'll go ahead and get the rest. Alright, so we'll put in a little bit of a T-junction. We'll just route it in between. I will say, I wish pipes acted the same way power poles did. That they would place themselves so that way you could continue to place them instead of like a scenario like that. Or even that you click and drag them and they go to their max length instead of just being able to be placed. Like, I get why it exists like the way it does, but I wish it was the other way. Yeah. So let's go like that. We want to go ahead and go with slag. So it does take quite a bit more slag. So for instance, I want to say we covered it. So it takes 5 slag, 50 slag slurry, 25 stone to 50 slag slurry. So it takes more stone than slag. So the slag is great. It's efficient to make this, but eventually it will no longer be that case, right? Because eventually we'll run out of, you know, the golden kind of cash cow here of slag slurry. But that's fine. Because as we, you know, use more, we'll crush more. And of course, there are a few different ways we can modify our production. Alright, so that makes that. So now let's go ahead and do this. And of course, let's go ahead and do this. I'm just using red belt because it's what I happen to have on me. I think I'm out of yellow. I have a little bit left, but oh, it doesn't really matter. So that should now all have all the components it needs, and then just for simplicity, I'm just gonna duplicate this. But this time, it's going to be the crushed stone. Awesome. Cool. Alright, so that's all plugged in and hooked up. So now let's go ahead and get power hooked up to this area. Again, doesn't really matter where we hook up power. I think for our little experiment here, I'll just hook it up right here. Kind of in line with the warehouses a little bit. Maybe if I can find power. Oh, there's some power over here. Cool. Do something like that. So that basically holds together now. The power. Speaking of power. So we are maxing out at night. So the boilers are definitely not able to sustain us through the night now. We definitely are relying much more on the solar panels along with the accumulators that we're getting from those. So I would like to put down more solar panels actually, but I don't think we have really any more produced. I also need to hook up yellow science properly. No, we only have, yeah, not enough. I mean, yeah, sure, we can go put them down, but there's not really a whole lot to go put down, so I don't know if it's really going to be worth it as for the time. These we can definitely hook up. Again, we have all the materials we need for yellow science at this point. It's a matter of keeping it full. That's the problem. So now that that's all connected, let's go ahead and pick up our car so we don't forget. So now that that's all connected up, let's go ahead and store the slag slurry, and of course we'll just do something. I'm gonna put it over here at the end, just so that way it's kind of out of the way. And then so we'll do that. Then you again. And so you don't have to put a pump here. I do it just to make sure. It's a short distance, so this is definitely a scenario where you don't need a pump. However, I'm putting a pump here, and then I'm going to put a pump on the output side as well, just to force the liquid through the pipes. Now, you could argue that this is going to cause some lag because it's going to force additional updates that don't need to be updated, but for honestly our case, I'm not too worried about it. So let's go ahead and find. Okay, so what's the next hoop in our journey? So now we need to take coal filters, purified water, and slag slurry, combine them all together, and go ahead and get the mineral sludge. So we can do a few different types of filters actually. So we can get what are known as ceramic filters, which work the same way with the coal filter. So the coal filter is coal, then you get a filter frame. Well, then you have to reload that filter frame with things, versus if we do ceramic filters, it's one and done. We make the filter and all we have to do is clean the filter. We don't actually have to reload it with coal. I'm honestly, it's an indifference for me. We can go either way with it. However, if we go with the ceramic, we need alumina, which isn't hard to get. If we remember correctly, it's just aluminum hydroxide, but that requires sodium hydroxide and aluminum. So if you don't want to have to go through using some of your aluminum / already spent aluminum, then just go with coal, assuming you have extra coal. But usually by this point in the game, or by the time you're getting to this, you're probably going to be more or less switched over to green energy, or kind of beginning it like we are. And then you're going to have an excess of coal again, kind of like we do. It's not a massive excess, but it is still an excess. Speaking of excess, I do want to check the coal dumps. We're getting low. Well, part of that's because I mean, we still have quite a lot. There's still 4 million coal in the ground here. However, the issue is the miners are not able to mine fast enough to keep up with the demand for the train. So the train's going to slow down because it's going to take longer to fill up, because these buffers are going to slowly empty and eventually be completely empty. So it's kind of a slow death almost, but not quite. Yeah. So I think for the case right now, what we'll do is we'll just do coal. Coal filters. We do have coal, yeah, right here. So what I'll probably do is I'll make the coal filters either in line over here, or we can split coal and do it up top. There's no particular spot for where we're gonna do coal, but I think I'm gonna plan all that out in between episodes, and then kind of come back and show you guys the layout and walk you through. So with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and end the episode today. A little bit early, not too bad. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the episode, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.